felt it again.
After I stand while it starts hurting.
Yeah, this back was releasing just by putting some pressure on this transverse process on this side, trying to help rotate the ribs back. And all of a sudden, they just started popping. So I'm just going to walk on that whole side through there, getting the shoulders right above it, right? Trying to get it to move that way at least a couple times. So I'm getting the heel of my hand right on those transverse processes and just wiggling, kind of get some rocking motion, right? Holding some pressure there. And we said we wanted to actually move the tissue which way?
You want to move it.
Move the tissue back over the ribs that are protruding. So I'm going to push lateral to medial. And with being able to get on his skin, I can really get a good fascial hook here. And it can be a little tender and he'll feel it. Let's put it that way. And also, I can bump up against the spinous processes. So I'm getting over here, I'm pushing that skin, all the fascia of the skin, all the way, and I can feel I'm hitting those spinous. So I'm kind of creating some mobility there too by going back.
Lauren's in reverse to them.
Who is?
Ansley's not here.
Oh, yeah. Ansley.
She's in Boston.
Boston? What's she doing in Boston? We don't know.
Just stand 60's not here. Why not?
Okay, so just kind of warming all that tissue up. And this tissue I wanted to kind of push away from the spine, so I'm going to get a fascial hook and kind of go medial to lateral. You'll feel all this a little bit. Because I'm kind of getting a pretty good hook on that tissue. And you'll see it gets nice and hyperemia there. Get some blood to the surface. Closer to upper thoracic. Get in there with my thumbs. And I'm just going to try to move it out.
So you're putting some pretty good pressure.
Oh, yeah. See, his body's moving. And you can see all this tissue getting nice and red.
Yeah. Like, this is functional, you've said.
Yeah.
So what about, okay, I'm sorry, I'm tired.
Structural.
Thank you. Structural
You can,
scoliosis.
yeah, you can still work it.
You can still work as, will we be able to, because I know somebody who has, she's almost to the point of where they wanted to do surgery on her. She's that bad.
Yeah.
So could I help her at all with this?
Oh, you can help a lot.
By doing the same things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. So all this is pretty warm now. I'm going to get him off the table onto stool. So I'm going to have you come on over here.
You get to run us.
All right. I would sit there for me. Okay, so now he is, this side was a little, he was left, a little more left, wasn't he? So what do I want to do here? Which way do I want to take him?
You want to grab.
I want to try to get him to transverse plane. I want to move right to left.
So you want to move it in
Because he's
Left or right, I think.
Like,
You want to move this way.
yeah. So left to right, yeah.
Okay.
You want to go the opposite way of what's...
Yeah,
where
so
it's
he
pushing.
tends to be left scoliosis, so the ribs
So you're gonna be pushed
should come out a little bit this
You're
way.
gonna grab this way.
So he's left, so that means he's side bent right, rotated left, right? So if he's left, he's side bent right, rotated left. Anytime the thoracic lumbar vertebrae side bend right, they rotate to the opposite side. Okay, so I'm going to have you grab the top of your shoulders. No, there's the shoulder. Okay, so I'm going to raise these up. And the first thing I might do here is come in and just get some extension. Kind of go right, now I'm right in the lamina groove. And I'm giving him a little extension here, kind of help mobilize all those upper thoracic vertebra, ribs. It's all good. And then I'm going to come around. I'm going to grab here, and I'm going to put my hand in the lamina groove, and I got my knee against his hip here, and I'm going to rotate. Okay, and I'm going to have him just about 10% effort, rotate back against 3, 2, 1, relax. Ow, that's a movement there. Yeah. Okay, and then rotate back against me. 3, 2, 1, let go. All right. So now, well, I'm going to have you go ahead and put your arms back down, and see if we get. Now I want you just to bend forward. Good. And I want you to go even down farther.
Yeah, right here.
Good.
It's still
You
there.
can still see it. Go. Okay. Come on back up. And so now what I might do too is get him back on the table. Face down.
It's like,
Okay.
just another one. It's okay.
Okay. The bolster would be good.
Right there.
Yeah. They're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I'm going to, once again, I'm going to push this. Well, it's getting a lot more, that tissue's getting a lot more pliable, mobile. Good. And now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do a little spring. Yeah, I felt that. So I'm going to try both ways. So I'm going to come up here toward the upper thoracic and I'm going to spring him. So, and I'm doing a little twister too. So I get that hand in here, going this direction, and this hand going this direction, with a little twist, and just spring. Now I'm going to reverse it because these feel like these don't want to move that well this way. So I'm going to, either that or I can come over here and use my normal. Oh God, he's moving all over the place.
He's gonna love it.
So now I'm going to come into the groove and kind of feel if I got anything pushing back at me anymore. Right in here a little bit. So I'm going to just kind of use some pressure. Oh, this feels pretty good now. I can get into the groove. I really feel the groove. Okay, come on over and check them out. See if you can.
My hands are kind of cold.
And you got to use some pressure with those thumbs to kind of get down there. You don't feel anything pushing back at you. He's got one transfer. I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to come down to the sacrum, put a little pressure in there, kind of open this a little back up, distract the sacrum and distract the tissue between the sacrum and thoracic, creating some space, Good. So, well, we got people signed up.
I think so.
Okay, so now one more thing. I'm going to have you turn over your back. And I'm going to have you slide down so I'm going to take this out, get out of the way. Good. And what I want you to do is finger.
Yeah, they use that as a pillow. I'm like, that makes total sense though.
Wait, quick question before you do this. Look,
Ah.
you
It's
see?
just his ribs.
I know, but
Oh.
this one is higher
Yeah.
and it's up more.
Yeah, so now we could also do the front like we were doing
I
before.
also see their little.
So we could come in here. So now,
The whole
which side is
side
tight
bending.
here?
Right,
The
right
front
there.
side, we said he's right bent, right side bent.
This.
Okay, so we got that right side. So his,
Pulling
So
everything
it's gonna
in.
be this. Oh sweet.
so it should be across this way,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so we're going to, I'm just going to come into the ribs here and put some pressure. I just want you to breathe along.
That was a good observation, Kitty.
Well, no offense, but I've never seen anybody's ribs that much out. I was just surprised.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Because when we've noticed, we've all had our clothes on. I was shocked, that's all. Wanted to question it. So are they always like that dominant? I mean, visually.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see it. Pretty good.
Yeah. So why is it that it's here
Because that's
And
the
not-
normal side, right?
and not
But why is it, so
Yeah,
far
like,
down,
why up-
but not
but up
in
here?
like the center of the rib cage?
Why you notice it more here?
Yeah.
Because this area sticks out a little bit more with the end of the rib cage.
Oh, well,
There's
but
right
there's
there.
also a lumbar curve here too.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
also the ankle
yeah.
lumbar
Okay,
curve.
okay,
I
okay.
didn't
That
know
makes
about
sense,
that.
yeah.
So,
You got
that would be pushing
lordosis.
that up
Yeah.
too.
Right?
Okay. I've always wondered that. Because it,
A little pressure ride. So I'm just trying to follow his breathing.
see me
And
doing
as
this
he
sinking.
Are you
exhales.
pushing at an angle?
In posterior, inferior. So as he exhales, the tissue gives. The tissue's giving pretty good there. They did pretty good up there by the rib too.
So he's fit enough where if he got a few more massages, he could probably get rid of the functional scoliosis and his rib cage would go back to normal and it would be
Pretty close, yeah. He wouldn't have as much trouble after he stand for a long period of time, you know. Because that, of course, in the military, you can stand a lot. Yeah. So, still
A little high, but
you're-
not
It's still,
as
but it
you're-
looks better.
You're like
Yeah.
I say,
Yeah.
you know, one session, you're going to get a little change, but not.
I mean, but that was,
Okay.
that looks pretty significant to me.
Good.
I mean,
Yeah,
so
it does
after
to me too.
after one more, or two
Yeah,
more.
it's not. Let it all out. Good stretch. Nice, big deep breath here. And let it all out.
Very nice. Very nice.
All right, I want to grab my wrist. Right there, grab mine. I want you to breathe. Somebody over the table. There we go. Just breathe for me into the stomach.
Just let me know when you're going to stop, so I
Okay,
don't.
I'm gonna stop. I'm getting ready to stop.
That would have been a sight to see on the table. And Kitty's no weakling, so she probably would have pulled it onto herself.
Well, that's what I was
Pulled him.
afraid of. Knock my teeth out or something.
Oh man.
My husband wouldn't have liked that.
I don't think you would have liked it.
No, I
All right,
like
see if you can walk.